person is a person in Persian Empire. Is antagonistic with Mordecai. So there's a bad like a high profile servant in Persian Empire, but the person's Harun's name was mixed up to the Pharaoh's court with Pharaoh's time. Pharaoh's time, Moses' time. Moses' time is 1,000 years apart from the Persian Empire, 1,000 years apart. So the Harun was mentioned as in the Quran as if he is a advisor for Pharaoh building his what you call this, the place that Pharaoh, a palace. Yeah. He is one of the constructor of the palace, something like that. So the Quran has,
they were slaves.
Whatever. So it was mentioned, the names mixed up together. The information, so the mention of the names, it's already mixed up with the historical content. So that's why I find it problematic in the Quran. So you may mention the Quran is inspired, a perfect book, no mistakes, no contradiction. Because you don't open your mind, you don't open your eye, because you buy into the concept of it is revealed, it cannot have any mistake. But I'm not a believer, I'm not a Muslim. That's why I'm free to look at it objectively and find these are the problematic verses. So I throw back to you. So there's a problem in the Quran. The more I read, the more I discover, the more trouble that I have. So if I read, the more detail that I have, and also there's a lot of complicated issues that are irreconcilable. For example, who is Mary? Jesus' mother. Why the Quran say that the sister of Aaron? Do you know who is Aaron? Sister of Aaron.
In Miriam?
Miriam, yeah.
Yeah, there's two Miriams. There's Miriam, the mother of Jesus, and Miriam is also a different woman. She is the sister of Musa alayhi salam.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've got. So why is it mentioned that he's a sister of Aaron? Why Miriam become a sister of Aaron?
Because she is, but it's a different Miriam, not the mother of Jesus.
So the Quran basically is is already conflicted with the two names. They live 1,000 years apart.
Conflict, it's just
conflicted. And then actually these are two genealogy, are different genealogy. The Miriam of Jesus come from Judah. The Miriam of Moses' sister or Harun's sister come from Levites. They are two different genealogy trace line. So the Quran at that time, or the Prophet Muhammad at that time, obviously he learned from hearing. He learned from people speaking to him, through the merchants, through the business dealing.
Actually, he only learned that from God.
That's what your claim is, but I can excuse him because he learned from the people. He learned it. He thought this is from God, and then he make it together, memorized, recited, and written at the Quran today. And then all the scholars now today you got to answer me. Who got the Quran?
Scribes.
Right, the scribe, whatever it is, the scribe wrote down now today that you have is the sister of Aaron. Miriam, the Jesus' mother, is called the sister of Aaron. The sister of Aaron, it's not Quran, sister Aaron. That's true. It is true that sister of Aaron is already literally there, because he was accused to be a mother without adultery, because he's not married, right? He has a son. There's no marriage, he's pregnant. So the people say, "Oh, sister of Miriam, your father, your ancestor, or they are all holy people. Why you got this problem?" So the Miriam, the sister of Aaron, has come up with the address in that time. The connotation of sister Miriam is the sister of Aaron. I can excuse that. I can understand why he make that kind of claim, because this Miriam, where the Moses' sister is, they also have a Miriam. So the Miriam in the spelling of Arabic in the Quran, they spell the same. But in the English, we don't have problem, because in the Greek we don't have problem, because Jesus' mother is Mary, Moses' mother is Miriam. So there's no conflicts, there's no conflicting with the two person, even though they live 1,000 years apart. But then in the Arabic learning, they don't use books because it's expensive. They don't use books, they don't use read, they just hearing. So hearing a lot of story coming in, it's easy for him to mix that together. This is only one example. There are a lot of examples. For example, Harun. Crucifixion. Crucifixion was not invented in Pharaoh's court. Pharaoh's time, there's no crucifixion. Crucifixion comes later in the Persian and the Romans. It was popularized by Romans. It was invented in Persian time. During the Pharaoh time, there is no crucifixion. But the Quran mentioned, Pharaoh will crucify you. Why Pharaoh used crucifixion? So it's another conflicting information in the Quran.
The
So
Quran says that.
Quran said that.
Pharaoh will crucify.
Yeah, right.
Where?
Yeah, you want me to find it? I think you can find it. This is a lot of things. That's why I find it interesting to study all these things I discovered because Islam has been a very strong challenge to me. A strong challenge. That's why I need to find out.
Why?
Huh? Because the Islamic claim. Because the Islamic claims, the Dawah claim there's only way to God. That's why I need to seriously study. I need to study because I cannot, if it is correct, I need to become Muslim. Right?
And
if it is correct, I become Muslim. If not correct, then I have to help the Muslim to come out from the falsehood. Correct or not?
In Islam, what is the way to God?
Huh?
In Islam, what is the way to God according to Islamic faith?
The will of God.
Yeah. What is the way to God, to heaven, to Jannah, to paradise?
According to Islam,
Yes.
follow Prophet Muhammad. Follow his revelation. Follow his revelation. Whatever he teaches, it will be absolute correct. You cannot question. You cannot doubt. If you in doubt, you doubt, check with the people of the book. That's Quranic verse. If you are in doubt, check with the previous revelation. The people of the book. So who is the people of the book? The Christians and the Torah.
The people of the book.
The people of the book are Christians and the Jews. But later on, he discovered something is wrong. So later on, he will mention something that the people of the book, actually they are corrupting the message of the book. And then this will be a later revelation. He said, don't go with them. So there's we call it abrogation. So you have a later version saying that don't go to the people of the book because they are distorted with their word. Actually, not the Bible, not the Bible, it's the tongue. The Quran said that they're distorted with their tongue. Maybe the words, maybe they don't apply to their lives. The Jews, the Christians, they don't apply to their lives. Even though they have the Bible, even though they have the Torah, but they don't apply that. This is true.
That and the book has changed over the centuries.
No, actually the book has not changed. You can see.
The book has changed.
No, 10,000 of manuscript. No, you see the word change or the message change? The word change or the message change? What changed? What changed? Oh, okay. One point at a time. What we mentioned about, what did we say about the, what did we say about the?
Oh, you mentioning that the Pharaoh said he would crucify them.
Oh, okay, crucified. Crucified. Crucifixion. Mentioned in Quran. Are you sure you want me to put out that verse for you? By Pharaoh. Verse. I want the verse. But I can tell you all this, there are explanations. Otherwise, you cannot stand on your faith, right? There will be explanation. Only that the problem is whether you accept the explanation or not. For the Muslim, you can easily accept the explanation. Okay. 7:174, Surah 7:124, and the Pharaoh said, "I will surely cut off your hands and your feet on the opposite side, and I will surely crucify you all." So crucify is mentioned by Pharaoh, 7:124 in the Quran. So actually, Pharaoh did not.
I was just reading about that. Like I was literally reading Surah Al-Araf the entire week.
So this is just an example of how the crucifixion was mixed up with Pharaoh's time, and then the other one is the Harun. Harun actually is a person in Persian Empire, not in Pharaoh's time, but the Quran make it Harun as an advisor of Pharaoh's court. So there's a character mixture in a different era. They are 1,000 years apart, 100,000 years apart. They mix up together. Harun is a person in Persian Empire. Is antagonistic with Mordecai. So there's a bad like a high profile servant in Persian Empire, but the person's Harun's name was mixed up to the Pharaoh's court. with Pharaoh's time. Pharaoh's time, Moses' time. Moses' time is 1,000 years apart from the Persian Empire, 1,000 years apart. So the heron was mentioned as in the Quran as if he is an advisor for Pharaoh building his what you call this, the place that Pharaoh,
palace?
a palace, yeah. He is one of the constructor of the palace, something like that. So the Quran
Yeah,
has
because they were slaves.
whatever. So it was mentioned, the names mixed up together. The information, so the mention of the names, it's already mixed up with the historical content. So that's why I find it problematic in the Quran. So you may mention the Quran is inspired, a perfect book, no mistakes,
Yeah.
no contradiction,
Yeah.
because you don't open your mind, you don't open your eye, because you buy into the concept of it is revealed, it cannot have any mistake. But I'm not a believer, I'm not a Muslim. That's why I'm free to look at it objectively and find these are the problematic verses. So that's why I throw back to you. So because without all this knowledge, you go into it, and then now you are already inside. You find it problematic because after that, you find your mind is being in bondage into the ideology. You cannot get out from it. So you know why today a lot of Muslims in the world, Muslims are very rich. Muslim countries are very rich, but there are very few contribution to the society, very few contribution to the advancement of the society. Basically, for me, I mean, of course, academically, you have a lot of reasons, wars or colonize or whatever, or maybe infighting, whatever, right? But for me, I suspect, I'm afraid, it is a religious concept inside that keep the people inside, without freedom to express themselves, without freedom to analyze the external facts and data. That's why today, the Nobel Prizes alone, Nobel Prizes, we don't talk about the war, don't talk about the defeat of the Islamic country against Israel. Why are they all defeated? Just the Nobel Prizes. The Israel, a tiny country, only 0.2% of the world population, but they have received 200 Nobel Prizes. But today we have Muslim, almost 2 billion, yeah, 2 billion, right? Almost 2 billion Muslim in the world.
In the movie, yeah.
Yeah, it's a big population, right?
Yeah.
You know how many people receive Nobel Prize?
I mean,
Only 15. 15. 4 of them are scientists. And these 4 of them are from the Western countries, not from the Islam country. You can come. Why the UAE, the Saudi Arabia has so much, and the Islamic countries are
are you
very
asking like why the Muslims
are not contributing.
Are not contributing.
Are not contributing. I leave it to you. I don't want the answer. Never mind. I leave it to you. Okay. You want an answer?
If someone oppresses you, would you help them?
What's the question again?
If you are being oppressed by people and they are going against everything that you stand for and they definitively and constantly try to hurt those around you, would you help them?
I would do what God do. I would want to do. God
does God
is with the oppressed. God is with the oppressed. So that's why we
God
need to
is with
liberate
the oppressed?
we need to liberate the oppressed. Yeah, God is with the oppressed, so we need to liberate the
If God
oppressed.
is with the oppressed, why did he send Musa to free the Israelites?
Huh?
If God is with the oppressed.
Israel was under oppressed,
Yeah.
right, by Egypt. That's why he sent Musa there to liberate the Israel from the oppressive Pharaoh. That's why they escape from Pharaoh. And then the Pharaoh chased after them, and then they were drowned in the sea. Right, the story,
Yeah.
We share the same story, but you don't have the detail in the Quran because it's just piece and piece and piece. You need the Bible to read the Bible to know the story behind. Because you claim to be, the Islam claim to be the continuation of the previous revelation. That's why you need to dig out the Bible references. So you know the story about the Pharaoh, how Pharaoh drowned in the sea, and then you need to know how Musa relating to the people of Israel. So all these things, all the story that you can find only from the Bible. Even the Hawa's, even Adam's wife names is not written in Quran. But now today the name is, that Adam's wife name? You know her name?
Her name, yeah.
Huh?
Adam's wife.
Hawa, Adam's wife, the first created creature on earth. Adam, the wife is Hawa. Why do you know Hawa? Come from the Bible. The Quran not mentioned. That's why the Quran itself, when you read the Quran itself, is not complete. The Quran is even though you claim to be a revelation from God, but it is not complete. So I leave it to you you say that this is more superior. The Islamic claim, that is the one that you say that the Quran. The Quran mentioned about good thing about the Bible. You need to read the Bible, so you study and then you get some information.
That's what
So the Christians' core value is not a religion. Okay, Christianity is not a religion. Christianity is a relationship with the Creator. If you through Jesus, the sacrifices of His blood, that we can be sins forgiven, and then we can establish relationship with Creator God, and we have assurance salvation here on earth. We can be living a peaceful, joyful, meaningful, and contented of life from now until eternity. So we don't have to afraid about the eternal judgment. So in Islam, you will never know eternal life until you face the judgment on the judgment day, right?
Do you believe in the day of judgment? Do you
I believe in that. But the day of judgment to me, the day of judgment to me is different from you. The day of judgment to me is a redemption day for me. And Jesus come back to establish a kingdom here on earth. And then we'll be ushered into the kingdom of God to co-ruler with Jesus. So there will be a good news for us. We are waiting for Him coming. And then the Israelite war is an indication or the sign of the end time. You know why Israel winning all the war? It is one of the signs. Because it prophesied in the Old Testament. So the Islamic country will not be overcoming Israel. I can guarantee you there's no Islamic country can overcome Israel. But there will be a reconciliation at the end. The Islamic country and Israel will be at peace. They will worship one God. That will be the end time. This is my hope. That everybody worship the Creator. Still good, right? So that would be the end time. So Muslim? Because the Muslim
worship one God.
Yeah, because the Muslim copy from the New Testament, copy from the Old Testament, and then change it into a different form. That's why it become Islam. That's why there's a lot of verses consistent with the Bible. But then you say corrupted. But then the Bible has
Because it is corrupted.
the Bible has
been that it was changed by the kings of the time.
no. We are not talking about English. We need to go back to the original Greek manuscript. The Greek manuscript, 10 of thousand, they're 10 of thousands.
Not dependable.
10 of thousand. No, you can trace back to 100 years, closer to 100 years. The manuscript. If you say change corrupted, you are insulting the white people here. The white people you study the school here, you are insulting them because they are studying a Bible that is corrupted. And then if you are a country that's so advanced, so good that you enjoy living here, then you're insulting yourself eventually, right? So if you say that you don't think they are so stupid, the white people here are so stupid, they study a corrupted. They actually open their mind, they study, they open their mind, they know, they compare the version they have and the manuscript they have, they find it consistent. The more manuscript you have, the more easy for you to find the mistakes, right? But surprisingly, they don't find it. They can't find the mistake that they have today in the Bible. So corruption of the Bible is not sustainable. It's only an attack on the Muslim because the Quran and the Bible are different. You know who is corrupted at the end? For me, I discovered is the Quran corrupted.